All right, so welcome to the week 11 of our unit software now. So I can see very little students in class. That's okay, but we got a lot of very good things today. But I'm from the security field anyway, so I will be able to explain to you actually how I work as well. I'll share it to you so that you might be using the same things in the future. Never know. We might be working as colleagues in the future. Never know. So so Python in cyber security. So today's topic will be Python in cyber security. So I have tried my best to include the basic thing because most of us are not able to understand the advanced things that we will be doing, right? All those frameworks, all those applications that are available. And if some of the scripts must be written inside the application, and before that I have to teach you the applications. Then after that I have to show you around how to write the codes inside the application, right? So rather than doing that, I have tried my best to include the basic things which you can run in your laptop, which you can run in your own environment, whatever that. If you have desktop, if you have laptop, you can set up in your laptop and you can work on it, and you can find out how it is actually working. And I'll be talking about some of the libraries as well that you can use. That's for free. There are some free applications that you can install in your laptop and test it, the vulnerabilities or the all of the issues in that applications. So how many of you guys online and in class are interested in cybersecurity? What actually do you think the cybersecurity word means? How do you define cybersecurity? Let's say I think that will be the fair question. Yep. 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 So cybersecurity basically means it can be done, or it can be done on top of the applications that you build or on the process of the applications that you build. It is up to the developer, or it is up to the implementer to implement on what basis the application actually requires, right? So most of the applications that we write in the Python these days, these are web applications or the scripts to fetch the data, store the data, encrypt the data, and push it out, create the reports out of it. All those things can be done using Python, right? So addition to that, how can we make sure that it is secure, right? We apply the encryption, we applied the data encryption, but if it is the weak encryption technique that we have used, it can be crackable, right? So these days, we might have heard about the quantum computers, which would break everything, right? We could process all those data very quickly using the laws of physics. And beyond that as well, so it is not in the personal hands yet. All those big companies have that being used in their data centers, but it is not being used for the personal use. Like our personal computer don't have that quantum computing capacity because it costs a lot. But in the future, it might come up in our personal computers as well, because based on the evolution that comes up, we have been seeing it can come up to our personal computers as well. We might be able to use it. So from the research, right? From the research, from Australian research, from the US research, the big companies, the report that I have read last week, most of the data that is being breached is in the transition, right? When data is being passed from one application to two applications, or one server to two server, the another server, right? Or from the customers trying to put in their details in the applications, and you are being hacked, right? So if somebody gets into your network, right, they can be a man in the middle. They can fetch all your details and they can pass the fake details saying that it's you. So all those kinds of things could happen, right? So it is our responsibility to make everything secure and test it out. Okay, so all those test cases can be developed in case of using the Python as well. So how many of you guys use ChatGPT fairly? Fairly. It doesn't have to be that I will not reduce your marks. You can use it. That's a free case. So it uses Python to fetch the data from the internet. Do you guys know that? Have you guys read the white paper of, because they haven't included a full description of it, but they have included the topic called web scraping, right? They fetch all those data, they fetch all those results, and from the available internet or the World Wide Web, we say, then the machine's gonna learn it. After that, it's gonna give us the right answer. So some of the answers that we find in ChatGPT or AI tools can be wrong as well, right? So if the AI is that much better, or if the AI can think on itself, how can it give us the wrong information? Right? There is a question to be raised. So the wrong information can come from the peoples who has written in the forums, or because most of the people don't get it right, right? So everybody has a different situation. If you face some issue, if you Google it, okay, I faced some issue installing this, let's say, installing this VS Code, then you might get multiple solutions from multiple peoples. So based on all those resources, it's going to grab that. It's going to give you that. So we're going to study how it can be used in web scraping as well today. So it is a very simple one, but I'm not going very deeper into that, what data are you fetching, but I'm going to show you how it can be done, right? So to further progress, it is up to you. But now on itself, try to understand that. Do not try anything. Do not try anything in the other people's web URL, right? Let's say, okay, I want to grab something from this URL, right? The data is not free, actually. It can be your active recognitions. That means you can be flagged, right? That can be a criminal activity. So it is up to your hands to what to try. So to better understand this, you can set up these own applications, own vulnerable applications, which is already available. And most of the cybersecurity professionals, to get started, they start from there. So we have started from there. We have reached till here. There is still lots of things to learn, but still I'm sharing with you guys what can be done. So we have learned about the encryption techniques as well, basic encryption techniques, just shifting the characters and putting it inside, right? We haven't gone to the Diffie-Hellman or any other encryption techniques that's available, but there are libraries that can be used to do that. You don't have to code it. You don't have to do it manually, but you can import the libraries and say, okay, I have imported this library. My input is this. What's going to be my output? It's going to give you the output after encrypting the text. And it will be hard for you to decrypt it, because some of the encryption techniques are one way, right? One way means when you encrypt it, it cannot be decrypted. That's the best part of it. If it can be decrypted, so some of the encryption techniques like, have you heard of the base64, right? Base64 can be decrypted. So cybersecurity enthusiasts should know about the other's privacy concern as well. If you write something else, if you write something which could do a basic function, but it is your responsibility to check if it is hampering other things in the applications as well, if it is affecting the other parts of the applications, or if there is a loophole in it. So somebody can get into the applications, or somebody can get into the application hosting and breach the data from the applications. All right, let's go further to the next slide. So what is the benefit of using this Python, right? Almost 40% of the cybersecurity enthusiasts, let's say not 40, more than 60% of the cybersecurity enthusiasts are very keen of using the Python. Then they know they tend to learn all those libraries like sockets, right? Network protocols, ports and everything. And even when you read the logs of all those applications, you should be able to understand what actually is happening, right? So let's say, for example, in a big applications, let's say Amazon.com, right? Hundreds, thousands, sometimes maybe millions of people are accessing at the same time. So if there is a data breach in that, how are they going to get all those informations? Because there will be 1 million sessions in that. They need to fetch all those data, right? They need to filter out all those data. So all those basic Python tools or all the basic Python logic that you have read will be very beneficial in case of that. So basic things are very important. Even if you are trying to give a coding exam, right, in HackerRank or any of the platform that your employee requires, you'll have to do it using the basic things. So you'll not be able to use all those. You'll be able to use the libraries, but you'll not be able to use all those frameworks and everything. That is a high level thing. So if you understand the basic concepts, you will be able to do that. So it has wide range of libraries and modules. So it can be used everywhere, right? Web infrastructure, web application infrastructure, desktop application building, game building, everywhere it can be used. So it has a cross-platform capability. That means it can be used in multiple platforms, right? Windows servers, Linux servers, or Mac OS X. And it has the capability of scripting. So, and how many of you guys are interested in penetration testing? Have you heard about the word penetration testing? Or pen testing, we basically call it in a short form. So that means we try to penetrate the applications. We write some code, we try to penetrate the application, right? We pass numerous numbers of data into it, or we try to bypass the protocols that's already available. We try to be in the applications. So it is a step-by-step process. What level of OSI model, or what level of on what basis are you trying to hack into it? Let's say from the network level, from the hosting level, or from the application level itself. Obviously, we know that it can be used in data analysis, visualization, machine learning. All of us know that most of the AI tools are based on the Python. These days, Python can be used to create multiple machine learning. There are lots of algorithms that's available. Secure coding practices, that means Python can be used to create a secure environment. That means to say that it can be used to create a test cases very easily, and you can test out of it. And executables, we all know that it can be installed. We can just download the exe file. We can install it in our own computers, and we all know that web application security, Python plays a very important role. Okay, so just out of curiosity, how many of you are studying cybersecurity at CDU? No one? Online students, how many of you are from cybersecurity background? All right, so even if you are not from the cybersecurity, if you are from the software development, or if you are from the data science platform or data science stream, it is very important to know all those basic things, right? So it can be used, right? So basic things that we can perform using Python is network scanning, right? We can scan all those network subnet. How many of you know about the subnet? So subnet means a group of IPs, right? So a group of IPs. So we can scan a group of IPs together at once if there are any vulnerabilities present. And intrusion detection and prevention. What is intrusion detection and prevention? Anyone?
It's basically if there's any attacks that are about to happen and any vulnerabilities that might be identified where attackers might attack.
Yeah, so in case of intrusion detections, it is only identified, but in case of prevention, there is an actions that also is taken by the IPS. So we have the intrusion detection and intrusion prevention system that can build using all those data, and all those processes can be run using the Python language. Malware analysis. Have you heard about the Log4j? Log4j. IT students, Log4j. No one. So it was a malware which was found last year. I think it's last year. So what it basically used to do is it used to create a loophole in the Apache servers. How many of you know the Apache server now? Have you heard about the IIS? So its server means where we host our applications, right? So all those applications that we used around the world in the World Wide Web, it is hosted somewhere, right? So it is giving us the data from a computer, which we basically call it a server. So, so it can be used to do the malware analysis. That means we can find out where actually the bug is or where actually the loophole is. And obviously we can use it for penetration testing and obviously web application security. How many of you are doing the third assignment using any of the web frameworks, Django, Flask? Anyone? Okay, that's okay. That's all right. If you are not doing the web application, that's all right. But there is an example at the end of this presentation. You will be able to install it in your own laptop and use it. And there are lots of online resources that you can find out in YouTube, in Google, because it is available for free to use for the cybersecurity students to understand things, how it is actually working. So there is an automated scanning. We can just put the automated scanning. That what basically my work would be now. I basically work in the automation part. I try to automate every processes that we use and make it in a click of a button. That's what we actually do, right? Let's say if we are creating a calculator, for example, simple example. If we are creating a calculator, we pass the two numbers as an input, right? We press the add button, right? It does the addition of those two numbers and give us the output, right? So similar to that, but what automations means is writing all those functions behind that, so people will not be able to see what actually it is doing, but they will only able to see input and output. Right? Somebody inputs anything. Okay, let's say I want to create applications which could give me the details of all the CDU students in HIT137, right? Okay, I go there, I select the unit, right? I click on the so members or so students, right? So you will not be able to understand what actually is happening behind that, how it is fetching, where it is fetching the data from, right? But you will be able to see all those results, all the list of the students, right? So all those processes, all those we use is a basic example of automation, right? Doing a programming itself is an automation to create an automatic process. But there will be so many things to it because I basically work on automating the infrastructure process, creating servers in a click of a button. So maybe in the future we are planning to put the voice over text. That means if someone right, if someone with a disabled person, let's say for example, can also create a server with providing all those specifications. So it can be your next project, next future project. I'm not sure for how many years, but that would be a very good project in the future. So cryptography, how many of you have crypto Bitcoin? You have Bitcoin? You are a rich person. Okay, so cryptography, all those handshakes, right? All those handshakes between the servers can be done using the Python. We don't know that what it's being used behind it, but in some part, I'm definitely sure that Python is being used. And also in the Ethereum, I have read one of the report in the Ethereum cryptocurrency. They have used Python in almost 23% of the applications. All those handshakes between the servers, whatever we call. I'm not very enthusiastic to cryptography, but and IoT security, all those device security that we build. Let's say someone hacks it into the farmland, because Australia is a farmland, right? There are lots of big farms that's being running. So, and all those processes are automated. So to secure all those, let's say there is a machine, right? There is an IoT device, we call it a machine, so which milks the cow, right? So it only milks a limited amount in it, right? So let's say if the cow is of certain genre, there are multiple genres that cow also has, and if it and there's a setup that okay, this cow can give 4 liters of milk at this for the whole day. So they set that up. Now, if somebody gets into that, if somebody hacks that, right? So they set that value to 6 liters, right? Then that would be a very big hazard for that cow. It might die. Never know, because that machine won't stop until it gets 6 liters of that milk, because it can't understand that. It only understands the value of numbers. And there are more to it. All right, so I talked about all those libraries. So I have listed 7 of them here, which you can give it a try, right? But it is on your own risk. As I said, you only apply all those things, right? All those libraries in your internal environment. You are not going in writing that on cdu.edu.au. Hell no, you'll be caught off. And because I have seen my friends doing that, and they were fined so much big number of money. So, and we can see lots of news happening if you have created an alert for the cybersecurity in Google. Actually, you can do that. So if there are any new news coming up for the cybersecurity or alerts, you definitely get it in your email. Just give it a try. Have a look into it today. So what is request? What is request? Package, right? It's a Python package that's been written by someone or the open source community, which could be used, right, to fetch the data from the from the URL, whatever. So that actually leads to the applications somewhere, right? Let's say facebook.com, right? Somebody used the request to fetch the data from the facebook.com, right? So obviously, I don't want you to try that. Don't try facebook.com. But at the end of this lesson, there is vulnerable applications which you can use to try. Okay, just try to learn first, then go for the explorations, because there are so many online URLs as well which you can find to test it out, right? It's going to give you uh, uh, it's going to give you all those data in that. What is a beautiful soup? Name itself is a beautiful soup. All right, I got some message. I'm doing bachelor's. Okay, I'm just leaving it to Luza for that. So what is a beautiful soup? What do you put in the soup? To create a soup out of, what do you put in that? So many ingredients, right? So what it basically does is it helps you perform the web scraping. That means if you are searching for something, you can do a web scraping, but you need to read the policy first, because each and every website has the policy listed, right? Some of the open websites allows you to do the web scraping. They can allow you to fetch all those data from it. But let's say for the Woolworths, right? So do you think the Woolworths website will allow you to fetch their data? No, right? But there will be some APIs, let's say, to list out all those countries in the world, or all there will be some free APIs to list out the value of the cryptocurrency. Let's say I want to fetch the value of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin for the time duration of 24 hours, or just keep on alerting me if there is a value change, or if the value goes down to this. You can create a script out of it. You can write a script, and it's going to give you, or you can set your applications to give you an alert or send an email to you when it reaches this value. Or you can set it, you can connect your banking applications and buy it. Okay, if this value is this value, just buy it of this money. Oh, okay. So let's not go deeper into that. There is an example coming up for that as well. So what is a SCAPI? It's a package, right? So what it basically does, in case of networks, each and everything are packets, right? Each and everything are binded into zeros and ones and created a packets out of it. So your computer that you are using, it only understands zeros and ones. It does not understand anything else. It only understands in the hardware level. It only understands zeros and ones. I think we also read about that in OpenCV, right? Each and every pictures are the combinations of zeros and ones. Similar to that, all those network requests, network packets are the combinations of zeros and ones. So SCAPI can be used to create a network packet. Suppose you are trying to simulate a smaller network, right? So you already have designed your network. You can use the SCAPI library to create a packet to send it to that network. You can manipulate, you can read all those data, or you can read those errors from that as well. So it is basically used in case of penetration testing. Network penetration tester uses that to find out if there is any vulnerability in the whole network. So what is PyCrypto? So actually I forgot what we actually call it. I think it's called handshake. It's a sharing of the token between the two parties. What do we actually call it? Does anyone knows that? I'm not actually sure. You can just Google it. NSEC? I think so. Yeah, because so it can be written those protocols of handshake, right? So because it should be very secure because it's a value of money. So it should be very secure, and all those decryptions and encryption techniques used in the cryptographic background, right, can be easily written by using the PyCrypto. So there are lots of smaller libraries inside it, smaller functions created inside it, which can be used. So if you are a cryptography enthusiast, you can have a look into it. It's a very fairly easy documentation that you can find online in the, I think it's in the pyp.org, pypi.org. What is Paramiko? It's a very famously used library in Python, Paramiko. So suppose you are, what is an SSS protocols? First, let's talk about the SSS protocols. What is an SSS protocols? Which uses port 22 in the computer networks. Yes. Exactly. So it helps you connect with another host, right? But you don't even need to use the password sometimes, right? It can be created in that way. So SSH has public and private keys. How many of you get out of the website which has only HTTP or not? Anyone knows the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? HTTPS, HTTP, yes? Yes, so almost, I said almost. I'm not going into the dark web, but almost, which is in the www, World Wide Web, uses HTTPS these days. Because HTTPS uses a certificate, which might be 256 bits, right? So if something is encrypted using 256 bits, or it can be 2048, sorry, it can be 2048, 4096 bits. So it will be encrypted using that. So it uses that protocols implements the encryption techniques using the certificates. So when you go to the HTTPS website, on the left hand side, you see the lock button in that. But when you click on that and see, you can view the certificate assigned to it. And you can also view what is the size of that bits used in it. So that helps make it secure. So similar to that, SSH helps you connect to the multiple hosts, right? Suppose I want to connect